So many of you may be wondering why I'm so spiritual after just one incident of receiving a message from a greater power or a higher power or a god, however you want to look at it. Like, why am I so spiritual if I prayed and received a sign? Well, one, the sign was a really powerful sign in my opinion. Like the chances of the cloud formation to form into the shape of a heart itself is hard to do. Like that's really uncommon. On top of the fact that I received the sign literally minutes after praying. Like how can I not recognize that as a sign? Um, but there's been more incidences that have happened in my life that lead me to believe that there is a higher power out there. I don't necessarily believe that they are looking after just me alone, but Earth itself. I think actually that'll be another topic. That'll be another topic. So there's a day. This is when I was still with my ex. A lot of this stuff happened, by the way, when I was with my ex. I was so blinded by love that I didn't recognize all the signs at first, but now that I am no longer with her and no longer in love with her, the love has died off, and I can recognize signs that were given to me at that time. You know what I mean? Like, it's just I can recognize a sign when I see one now, especially during that time. So there's a time I was heading up to Canada. I was like, I'm gonna get in a wreck. I know I am. You know, and you're all probably thinking, well, that's your problem. You're thinking about it. Well, it happened. I got in a wreck. I didn't know what time I was gonna wreck. I didn't know. I just had that feeling that I was going to wreck on my way up to visit my ex. So, with that being said, the wreck was really bad. Like, I should not be here. That's how bad it was. And I've shown people pictures of the car after the wreck, and I've been told by everybody, wow, you should not be here. There isn't a single person who's told me, oh, well, I'm not surprised that you're still here. They've all had the same reaction, like, how are you still here? So, what happened was I hit a patch of black ice. I was going 60 down the highway, and it literally all of a sudden turned from rain to snow within the matter of seconds. I was like, oh crap. And then I started to realize that and I started to slow down. Well, I didn't slow down soon enough and I hit a patch of black ice. I proceeded to hit the brakes, and this is where I messed up. I didn't let off the brakes, I just held onto the brakes, which I know I messed up there. That was my fault. I should not have held onto the brakes. I should have pumped them instead of holding on to them. So mistake number one for me. I know it. I end up. I remember my car turning over to the side. Like I'm still going probably a good 40, 50 miles an hour, and my car is sliding on its side. Not like it. The tires are also on the ground, and it's sliding onto the side, and I end up going right into a bank, and I hit the bank, and that's when things took a turn for the worst. I rolled the car a couple times, and it was mangled up. Like it was bad. You want to know what I came out of that wreck with? Just a bump on my forehead. You want to know what that bump on my forehead was from? A can of pop. I was awake through the whole thing. I watched my car roll. I watched me hit the bank. I remember all of it. You know, like, and the only thing I could think to myself was, I knew this was gonna happen. That's all I thought about the entire time I was being thrown around in my car. Like, I knew this was gonna happen. I wasn't scared. I I don't know. I didn't feel any pain. Nothing. I got I didn't get any cuts. I didn't get any broken bones. The only thing that happened was a can of pop hit me in the forehead, and it left a decent knot. Not a terrible one, but a decent one, and I still didn't feel pain from that. So the sign I received that day was, I feel like, anyways, that my ex wasn't the right person for me. And at the time I didn't see that. So I proceeded to go up to Canada while, I was just in a bad wreck. My biggest concern was, how am I going to get to my ex? Like, when you're in love, that's all you care about, right? You just want to see the person that means the most to you, especially after a wreck. Um, well, there's a lot more to the story too, and especially from my ex's side of the story, because what I found out later was her mom wasn't happy with me because I had made her cry at like 6:30 in the morning. And it's just like, I was in a wreck. Sorry, I can't control that, but you know what I mean? Like, and her mom was mad at me because she didn't know I was in a wreck. My ex hid that from her. And I, to this day, don't understand why. You know, that's my ex summed up for you though. All she did was lie. Didn't matter about what. Didn't, you know, she would have lied to you about the time of day. That's just who she was. And I didn't take these several signs that I was given by the higher power, and they were basically like saying, hey, it's time to break this off. And I didn't break it off. So that's another reason why I am very spiritually inclined, I guess you could say. I I've been through a lot that makes me believe there is a higher power out there. I won't necessarily say the God that we see in worship today, but there's certainly something out there. There's certainly something out there. But thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.